Loneliness. It's a silent destroyer lurking in the shadows of our lives, often unnoticed until it's too late. Today, we delve into the profound impact of loneliness, exploring how it can slowly erode our well-being, our relationships, and our very sense of self. Loneliness isn't merely the absence of company. It's a profound sense of disconnect from others and from oneself. It's feeling unseen, unheard, and ultimately unloved, even in a crowded room. This emotional isolation can gnaw away at our mental and physical health, leading to a downward spiral that's challenging to escape. Certainly. Let's delve deeper into the explanation of loneliness. Loneliness is often misunderstood as simply being alone, but it's much more than that. It's a complex emotional state characterized by a deep sense of disconnection from others and oneself. Imagine being in a room full of people, yet feeling completely isolated, as if you're invisible or irrelevant to those around you. This profound sense of disconnect can make you feel unseen, unheard, and unloved, regardless of the physical presence of others. For example, consider a scenario where someone attends a social gathering but struggles to engage in meaningful conversations or connect with others on a personal level. Despite being surrounded by people, they may feel isolated and misunderstood, leading to feelings of loneliness and emotional distress. This emotional isolation can have significant repercussions on both mental and physical health. It's like a slow, insidious poison that eats away at your well-being over time. Mentally, loneliness can lead to feelings of sadness, anxiety, and depression. It can also exacerbate existing mental health issues or trigger new ones. Physically, loneliness has been linked to a range of health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, weakened immune function, and even a shorter lifespan. The chronic stress and lack of social support associated with loneliness can take a toll on the body, increasing the risk of various health conditions. Moreover, the downward spiral of loneliness can be challenging to escape. As feelings of isolation and despair intensify, individuals may withdraw further from social interactions, perpetuating a cycle of loneliness and isolation. In essence, loneliness isn't just about being alone, it's about feeling disconnected and unfulfilled in our relationships and within ourselves. It's a deeply human experience that can have profound consequences for our overall well-being. Recognizing and addressing loneliness is crucial for fostering healthier connections and building a more supportive community. Psychologist. Loneliness affects people from all walks of life. It's not just about being physically alone, it's about feeling disconnected from others on a deep emotional level. This sense of isolation can trigger a cascade of negative emotions, from sadness and anxiety to despair and hopelessness. Let's unpack the psychologist's statement further. When the psychologist says loneliness affects people from all walks of life, they're emphasizing that loneliness is a universal human experience that transcends age, gender, socioeconomic status, and other demographic factors. It can impact anyone regardless of their external circumstances or social standing. This highlights the widespread nature of loneliness and underscores the importance of addressing it as a significant societal issue. The psychologist goes on to explain that loneliness is more than just physical solitude. It's about feeling emotionally disconnected from others. This emotional disconnection can be particularly distressing because it involves a sense of alienation and a lack of meaningful connections with others. Even in the presence of friends, family, or colleagues, someone experiencing loneliness may still feel profoundly isolated and misunderstood. This sense of emotional isolation can trigger a cascade of negative emotions, as the psychologist points out. Feelings of sadness, anxiety, and despair are common responses to loneliness. When individuals feel disconnected from others and lack the support and companionship they crave, it can lead to a deep sense of emptiness and longing. Over time, these negative emotions can intensify and contribute to a cycle of despair and hopelessness. Moreover, the psychologist's statement highlights the interconnectedness of emotions. Loneliness doesn't exist in isolation. It often coexists with other mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety. The emotional distress caused by loneliness can exacerbate pre-existing mental health conditions or contribute to the development of new ones, further complicating the individual's well-being. Overall, the psychologist's insight underscores the profound psychological impact of loneliness. It's not just a fleeting feeling of solitude, it's a pervasive sense of disconnection that can have far-reaching consequences for mental and emotional health. Recognizing the emotional complexities of loneliness is essential for addressing it effectively and providing support to those who are struggling. Surprisingly, loneliness has reached epidemic proportions in our hyper-connected world. Studies show that despite the prevalence of social media and digital communication, rates of loneliness are on the rise. In fact, chronic loneliness is now considered as harmful to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The assertion that loneliness has reached epidemic proportions in our hyper-connected world highlights a paradox. Despite the proliferation of digital communication and social media platforms designed to connect people, rates of loneliness are increasing. This phenomenon challenges the assumption that technological advances automatically lead to increased social connection and highlights the complex nature of human relationships. The rise of loneliness in today's society can be attributed to various factors. While digital technologies offer new avenues for communication, they can also contribute to feelings of isolation and disconnection. For example, individuals may substitute online interactions for face-to-face connections, leading to a superficial sense of social engagement that fails to fulfill deeper emotional needs. Moreover, the fast-paced nature of modern life, coupled with societal shifts such as urbanization and globalization, can disrupt traditional support networks and erode community bonds. As a result, many people find themselves feeling increasingly isolated and disconnected from meaningful social connections. The comparison of chronic loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day underscores the severity of its impact on health. Numerous studies have linked loneliness to a range of adverse health outcomes, including cardiovascular disease, compromised immune function, cognitive decline, and premature mortality. In fact, research suggests that the physiological effects of loneliness can be as damaging to health as smoking or obesity. This comparison serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need to address loneliness as a public health issue. Just as smoking cessation campaigns aim to reduce the prevalence of tobacco-related diseases, efforts to combat loneliness should prioritize interventions aimed at fostering social connections and building supportive communities. In summary, the statement highlights the alarming rise of loneliness in today's society, despite advancements in technology and communication. It underscores the profound impact of loneliness on health and well-being, emphasizing the importance of addressing it as a significant public health concern. We hear the stories of individuals who struggle silently with loneliness every day. From the elderly widow who longs for companionship in her golden years, to the socially awkward teenager who feels like an outsider among peers, loneliness knows no bounds. Loneliness not only affects our mental well-being, but also takes a significant toll on our physical health. Research has linked chronic loneliness to a host of health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, depression, and even a weakened immune system. It's as if loneliness eats away at you from the inside out. The consequences of widespread loneliness extend far beyond individual suffering. It impacts our communities, workplaces, and society at large. When people feel disconnected and alienated, it undermines social cohesion and contributes to a culture of indifference and apathy. But it doesn't have to be this way. By recognizing the signs of loneliness in ourselves and others, we can take steps to reach out and connect. Whether it's a simple act of kindness or a meaningful conversation, each gesture has the power to break through the walls of isolation and build a more compassionate world. So let's come together, bridge the gap, and rewrite the narrative of loneliness. Because in the end, it's our connections that sustain us and give meaning to our lives.